Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about a lesson that I had with a gentleman named Corey Christiansen. Corey Christiansen is the guitar teacher at USU, that is Utah State University, as well as he's a world-class musician who plays, tours, and does exactly what he teaches, so he's someone you should listen to. Like I said, I had the opportunity to have a lesson with him. And in that lesson, after we talked about theory and soloing and all this stuff that we all want to know when we kind of have like a one-off style lesson with someone who's significantly better than us, after all of that, he made it a point to make sure that I got this exercise written down and that I started doing it and that I started teaching it to all of my students as well. This, as he described it, is something that probably 95% of guitarists skip over when they first start learning how to pick. And as such, it's something that can kind of be a weak spot for us as we keep playing without this knowledge and without this refined technique in our right hand. So without further ado, let's jump over to a guitar and see what we're talking about. All right, so in order to understand why this technique that we're about to talk about is so significant, we must first take a step back to the time when we were learning guitar and learning how to pluck individual strings with a pick and examine how most of us probably learned how to do it. For most of us, we probably started with just a single down pluck that looked something like this. Straightforward, clear. Then, as we wanted to get into faster songs and faster playing, we started alternating it. Simple enough. However, we're missing something in there. We spend all this time getting our down strum to look right, and then we just jump straight to alternating without even paying attention to our up strum. This is where we're missing something. This is where all of us, whether we're still learning how to pluck single strings or whether we've left those rudimentary things in the rear view mirror, we've probably all skipped over that upstroke. Now, what he had me do is he had me start by just playing a G and just going. And while that sounds okay now, when I first started, my upstrokes were significantly weaker. The tone changed as I came up. It was definitely noticeable that I was doing an upstroke rather than a downstroke. And that's not what we want when we're playing. We want to sound fluid across those strings. So we spent some time doing that exercise. Another exercise that he had me do was to do down for 8, up for 8, down for 6, up for 6, down for 4, up for 4, down for 3, up for 3, down for 2, up for 2, and then alternate it. Looks like this. The idea is that in all of this, we are doing everything in our power to keep those upstrokes sounding tonally exactly like our downstrokes. What this means is that when we start doing alternate picking, that will translate into more clarity and consistency across the strings and across our movements. The other thing that he had me do is he had me do all of my other exercises with just upstrokes. So where I would normally play a scale like this, he instead had me do it with downstrokes. And then with up. All of this to make sure that as we move across strings, again, that tone is consistent. He had me do arpeggios, had me do all sorts of exercises where I was trying to be as consistent as possible with those upstrokes. And after doing it for about 2 months now, I've noticed a difference. My speed has improved. My consistency has improved. And a lot of the problems that I was having with maybe not being able to move across strings as cleanly or not being able to sweep or rake backwards as cleanly started to work themselves out. And it makes perfect sense why this is a problem. Most of us myself included, started with downstrokes and then started alternating and didn't give our upstroke the same amount of attention that it deserved. So feel free to work through all of your normal exercises, whether they be scales or arpeggios or skips, Try to do it all with upstrokes as well as downstrokes. You'll find so much more consistency. This was definitely a shorter video, but an important one as well. I encourage all of you to take the time and throw it into your regular practice routine. If you have students of your own, make them start doing it. I've also seen it improve my students. And if this is helping me at my level, imagine what it's going to do for those of us that are newer or younger. Once again, my name is Mac Wright. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. It does help out the channel and it makes my day a little bit better. So go make someone else's day better, even if it's not me, and we'll see you around.